Episode 44 coming at you live. I gotta be honest, I don't know how much alien talk we're gonna be doing because I'm so invested on this lost ancient civilization that like I really don't think
aliens are even real now.
Yeah, like I really don't think that we like how I meant to look this up literally before we started, but so we're what is our like year considered? Because I know there's BC. How many years was that?
We are 2021 BC.
We're BC.
No, sorry, BCE or
AC,
AD, Anno Domini, after Christ. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
and then so how many years was it BC?
What?
Like when do they say like we started?
5,000 or 6,000 BC.
That's what it went to before.
Something like that, yeah.
And then it went to like AC
somewhere
or whatever.
No, maybe
now,
not
AD.
even that far. I'm gonna say 5,000 year BC was like Sumerian culture. I'd have to look it up. Somewhere around there.
So I just
somewhere in the neighborhood of like 7,000 years ago.
Yeah, I honestly think that's a whole load of horse shit that there wasn't anything before that.
Yeah.
I did watch a couple episodes of Joe Rogan with Graham Hancock and then Randall Carlson.
Yeah, he's interesting as fuck.
Yeah, dude.
All right, so 4,500 BC was a Sumer, and it's supposedly the earliest known civilization. So 4,500 BC is when all civilization started for the first time ever, even though human beings are a couple 100,000 years old. Minimum.
Yeah, so I just don't agree with any I was listening to an episode of Joe Rogan and Graham Hancock. I think it's the most recent one because they did reference his like kind of newer book, which is America Before or something like that.
Which is the third of this series that I was reading from.
And
for those following along at home,
he said that we shouldn't. What was it like? Archaeology or whatever shouldn't be considered a science. And just because what they base everything off of is like, fuck, I can't, I wish, I literally just listened to this. And I wish I could remember the wording because you start to think about it, it's like, oh, fuck, it's true. Because it's based off of like ideas and just like a generalization where you got like people that study like DNA, that's hard fucking facts.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of hard facts that go along with it. And if you start looking into some of the theories that Graham is considering, there's fucking like evidence to prove it.
Yeah.
Again, like look at the water erosion on the Sphinx. Like, I'm sorry if they say that happened before or like in the time frame they are saying it happened. Well, that's a shit ton of rain to make it look like it's
yeah. Well, the thing is that
I don't think that'd be a desert.
All that says
much rain.
is that the Sphinx was around 12 to 10,000 years ago. It doesn't say that the Sphinx was built 10 to 12,000 years ago.
But I thought that's what they have like generalized it.
They've assumed that would make the most sense. But based on what I was saying before, they don't know. Yeah. But they know that the last time there was that much rainfall in the Nile Valley, where the Sphinx is, was in the 10 to 12,000 year mark, which means the thing would have had to be there.
Yeah.
So whether it was built in that 2,000 year range, which is entirely possible.
Yeah.
It was definitely there in that range, according to geologists and like people that do science.
Yeah.
Objectively.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been listening in like little things.
I didn't even think we're going to get to a whiskey review. You just dived right in.
Yes. Well, it's kind of hard not to, right? Like you bring up one point, next thing you know, we just go, okay, we'll postpone that.
No, keep with your thought.
No, because we'll never do the whiskey review. And I'm very excited to try this after last week.
Yeah. CJ brought another scotch.
Yeah, this episode's sponsored by my old man, Big Reg, a.k.a. The Fridge.
Shout out to Big Reg.
Yeah, so thank you.
Aberfeldy. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation.
Yeah, you're on your own on that pronunciation.
It's a Highland Scotch whiskey. That's all I know.
Yeah, so same. Oh, baby. The same, I guess, like type of whiskey or Scotch as the last one. Oh, perfect. I thought you were handing it to me. I hear the ice cream man.
He parks directly outside of our house.
Yeah, I bet he does. He knows Antonio lives here. Oh, shit. That smells really good.
Mm-hmm. Another high review coming at you. Did you try it already?
No, I haven't. That's good. Yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the other one better.
Yeah. It's also good in its own way.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what the fuck I'm tasting.
I got a little vanilla in there.
Yeah, something like that.
Like something sweet. A little more burny than the last one.
It's warm.
Yeah. Which doesn't really help on the day of today.
Well, I'm
hot out there.
I'm gonna go sacrilege. I'm gonna definitely have ice with the next one, or throw ice into this one.
Yeah, throw ice in it. My dad said if you put a drop of water in it, it's pretty good. Makes it better. He's gonna dump that.
No, I'm not.
Whole fucking thing in.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I try?
No, I'm good.
Scared.
Yeah, because you did that one so good. I'm gonna get like half the bottle in there. Now, for those that don't know, apparently adding like a drop or a couple of drops of water,
brings out the flavor.
Yeah, it gets the oils activating and all this fucking
all the chemistry,
weird fucking science,
all the shit that we don't know anything about.
Yeah,
we talk about ancient civilizations and aliens. We don't know
that
shit.
We know nothing about really.
We're just espousing fucking crackpot theories, allegedly.
That's really good. What's the first one? The Virgin.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go smell first. Smells
easy on this one.
Yeah, is it? I'm going 8.4 on the smell.
I'm a little lower than you.
Yeah.
I'm like a 7.9.
Okay.
This one has a bit more of the alcohol smell.
Yeah.
But it smells good.
It does smell good.
It's not like
yeah. No, I hear you on that.
Problem with these reviews, it's so hard to just look at one for what it is.
It really is.
And not compare it to like
something
the week before
or something
similar.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to just like as if this is the first time ever trying this scotch.
Yeah.
8.4 you said?
I think that goes for anything that you try and review.
Mm-hmm.
You always end up comparing it to something else. Like I've watched before I bought my irons, I was trying to see what was good out there and what might be in the range that I should be looking at.
Yeah.
And it was hard to because they always compared it, they feel really good. Well, what are you comparing your feel to?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a $400 pair of TaylorMades that I've been hitting my entire life.
And they feel good.
And they feel like I didn't think they felt bad at all.
Yeah.
If you want to scooch, you might be pushing out of frame.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's better.
Hello again.
So it's like you've hit like every club on the market and you probably played the best irons or the ones that you think feel the best and hit the best for you. So it's a little hard to.
I played with like 12-year-old irons, Nike irons that were heavy.
Yeah.
And like not good by today's standards. And I hit them really well and I hit them forever. And they felt great. I loved them.
Yeah. So it's like, what are you comparing them to?
In fact, I still use the gap wedge from that.
Dude, I'm sorry. I use my.
But wedges don't generally come with a set. You get a pitching wedge and a set of irons.
Yeah. But, so my brother just got a new set of irons and it went down to a gap wedge. So like.
That's pretty low. So when P
just in between
then like
in between a sand wedge and a P.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine says A on it, which is like an approach wedge, but it's a gap wedge.
Yeah, same shit. Just different fucking names.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand. Like, can we just settle on a name?
No.
It like varies company to company. Like
too easy to
some
do
call
it
an approach wedge, some call it a fucking gap wedge. It's like, let's just settle on something.
Or at least fucking tell me what degree it is.
You can look them up.
I know. But
that's what I did with my brother.
I'm a fucking sap. Like I'm a big fan of golf, but like I don't. Like people tell me, oh yeah, I just bought this like 43-degree wedge, and I'm like, what is that?
It's like a pitching wedge.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, why didn't you just say pitching wedge?
Yeah.
Or can we get rid of pitching wedge and just use 43 degrees so we know what the fuck we're talking about?
Degrees in general, because
whatever, you know what I mean?
It's crazy. So Mike got new irons, and Mike's notorious to be like,
Sorry.
yeah, that's kind of rude. I was talking.
Yeah.
Michael always be like, "Oh, what are you hitting?" Or "What would you hit?" And I looked at his clubs because I had a feeling because they're not like, shouldn't say they're like not high end. Like they're last year's clubs or last year's models on sale and then on clearance on top of that.
Yeah,
We
but
got
even
him.
with the technology, they're still probably way better than what he had, even if they're
Or
on the lower side.
better than mine because I got mine years ago.
Yeah, who knows?
So I looked up just to like compare the lofts because I didn't want to be like, yeah, I hit a 9 iron and his 9 iron's like my 8 iron or maybe like my pitching wedge. You know, so like it could be a club difference, and sure enough, it was.
It was, eh?
Yeah. So his like if I was hitting a 9, I would tell him to hit a pitching wedge because the lofts. That's like how close the lofts were. Like they were off like a club.
Now I want to look at the fucking loft of my clubs and know.
Yeah, because
based on the old ones.
Because Mike was like, "What would you hit?" I'm like, "I would hit a 9, so maybe hit a pitching wedge, or you could hit like a soft 9."
Yeah.
Like, don't swing for the fences. Like,
I find you fuck those shots up more than anything. They're like, I'm just going to hit like a 3/4.
Oh, I hate doing 3/4. I'd rather
between
just
clubs, just fucking swing full on one.
Yeah, I'd rather just swing easy, like
Or
not
swing
try to
easy.
fucking
Yeah.
just like pelt it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, reviews. So it's like
Mhm.
it's tough to
Everything.
Yeah, I'm
It's
like,
hard to
Mike, you
vary.
got to hit them. Like, you don't know if you're gonna like them. They could feel like fucking shit, but you can't fucking swing in the simulators right now. So they're like, nope. So he just
Really?
missed. Yeah, simulators shut down. Not really sure why. You can still pick up clubs
still
off
go
the
in this-
shelves.
you can still
There's just
go-
a sign like, please refrain from picking up all the clubs.
Mm.
But like, you still gotta like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it.
Okay. Do you taste chocolate with this?
Chocolate.
Or am I on drugs?
Well, maybe because you just said that. I
don't
kinda,
yes, yeah, I've just
I
fucking
kind of just
tainted
tasted fucking chocolate, which is kind of cool if there is chocolate in it.
I don't know if there is. There's a flavor in there that I don't know what
You
it is.
can't put your finger on.
Yeah.
The Virgin's high for me. I don't know if it's gonna be like super high, but it was. I'm gonna go 8.6 on the Virgin.
Yeah, first impression was really high for. I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
go
it was really
8.5.
high. It could have been higher, but that initial like burn took me by a little surprise. I wasn't
A
expecting
little
it,
smack to the cheek.
which I don't know why I wasn't expecting it because you could smell the.
You could smell it.
You could
You could smell it coming.
You could smell the burn.
Flavor is really high on me for this. I
Yeah,
think it's got good flavor.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm like an 8.6.
Yeah,
I was gonna go 7.
I'm gonna go 7.
8.7.
8.7. Yeah, it's good. It's sweet.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure I'd be a big fan of like the sweet flavor in the whiskeys, but after having some like last week's where it was very prominent.
I had a glass of wild turkey last night, and then I followed it with a glass of Bushmills.
Yeah.
And that's when you can tell how fucking sweet some bourbons are.
Yeah.
Big
Which
difference.
one was sweeter?
Oh, the turkey, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know because I went with that one and then I had the next one. I'm like, fuck.
I haven't really. I usually just drink a bottle.
Well,
You know, like I don't
Yeah.
really like.
well, there was like 2 ounces left in the wild
Yeah.
turkey bottle, and I wanted another drink of something.
So you got to move to a
So
different.
I had to move to a different thing. I don't generally like go
Yeah.
around like, oh, I'll have some of this, I'll have some
so
of that.
that-
No, I'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
stick with one.
Yeah.
This is very
hilarious.
smooth. This is 9.2.
Yeah, I'm gonna match you on that one. It is.
And finish.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
I
for
gotta
another one here.
reevaluate that.
That finish is really. I got nothing wrong with that finish.
No.
I'm going. Going 9.3 on the finish.
8.9 for me.
Yeah.
Actually 9. Just a 9.0.
9 flat.
Yeah, it's really good.
That is really good. It's a great fucking whiskey. I'm a big fan. I do want to try because Rob was telling me that the Islas are like more smoky and
Mm-hmm.
I guess like more bold and harsh on the flavor, I guess. Where the Highlands are more like sweet and floral. I think that's what he said. But I do want to try an Isla. So I think for our 1 year, I'll pick us up a nice bottle.
Just Google like a smoky
thing.
That
or I'll just ask him because he did he was drinking a lot of whiskeys.
Yeah, he was a legitimate
for a
connoisseur.
while. Yeah.
Sorry,
I remember going to Wayne Gretzky's with him and trying all those whiskeys.
Oh, the distillery.
Yeah, he was
the winery.
And he was giving the guy a hard time a little bit.
Yeah, well, he was
you were getting
right.
mad at him.
But he was right, though.
I know. You were getting mad at him and like, just let the guy do his job.
8.8. All right.
So my overall is an 8.8.
And I am an 8.6. I think it's a perfect representation of this.
Yeah, this is
I
don't know the
plus.
price, so I can't. I didn't look it up before I came, so you guys will have to check out the Instagram posts.
Plug. That was a good plug.
Yeah, we'll have to check out the Instagram post because I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure it's going to fall in between a 3 and a 4 on the price. And for those who don't know, the $1 sign is 0 to I believe we said 40.
Yeah, just
I wrote these fucking down too.
It's fine.
And then it's like 40 to
60,
60, and then like
90,
60 to
and
90,
90
and
plus.
then 90 plus. So my guess is this is either like $80 range or just over 90.
Yeah, I don't. Your dad bought this for a weekend away with his buddies, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine he didn't spare too many expenses.
No, I don't think
if
so.
it came recommended, and if it cost 80, if it cost 40, he was probably going to buy it. So
yeah. Well, they always him and his buddies, they always do like a little golf. I don't know. He always says tour, and they play like over 3 days, 3 different courses. And usually, I think they just vary. Like fucking Timothy will bring a bottle 1 year, and fucking Jonathan will bring these. I have no idea. I can't remember their names.
I think you nailed it.
Nailed it.
I'm pretty sure that's their names. No idea.
Yeah.
Remember last week I was talking and I like completely blacked out. I'm like, what the fuck was I trying to say with this?
Yeah, I did that earlier.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
what I was supposed to do.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I was going to compliment you on your shirt because you have a beautiful Hawaiian shirt. And last week we were talking about Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got drunk on Father's Day and fucking we were doing this and I like fucking blacked out. I'm like, I don't know where I was going with that. So where I was going with that is I was laying in bed and I'm like, I made the decision. I'm like, I'm only going to wear like collared Hawaiian shirts from now on. And I went on and found a website.
That's a lifestyle change right there.
Yeah, fuck it. I got a kid.
It's a great lifestyle.
So comfortable.
It is.
Breezy.
I own a lot of them.
Yeah, they're very comfortable. I think they're good for all year.
They're great for sitting on a dock.
Yeah. They're going to look bad.
Wide open.
They're going to look bad on me in the wintertime because I pretty much go gray like a dead person. But
they'll add some color to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people
the bright ones.
Fuck.
That is so bright.
That's a dead man. That's like Weekend at Bernie's. They put that dead man in a fucking floral shirt. So anyway, we were laying there and I'm like, I'm buying Hawaiian shirts. That's it. And I found this website that only sells Hawaiian shirts. And I was going to buy like 15, 16, like.
Yeah, you guys were telling me that before last week.
So that's what I was trying to say on the podcast last week when people are like, why did he have a stroke and not finish what he was saying?
It's because he forgot.
It's because I forgot.
And did stroke.
And I did stroke out. So I was like about to purchase, and they were like US. It was like $150 US. But I thought it was a good thing. And then Antonia goes through the cart. She's like, hang on a second. You have the same shirt just in 5 different colors.
What was it like? Pinstriped, and one's black, one's blue, one's red, one's yellow.
Pretty much, except it was like a nice like palm print on it.
Yeah.
They're all still in the cart. She's like, I think we should definitely sleep on this. Yeah. I'm like, I think you're the devil and are trying to destroy my life.
But I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Turns out she was right. But anyway, we changed it up and I found way more other patterns that I didn't have to buy like 6 of. But yeah, it was like one was red, gray, blue. And my stupid ass, I'd probably go on vacation somewhere and bring all 5. And people are like, this guy has the same fucking shirt.
You go to the same table, playing poker or some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
what the
you end up
fuck?
getting the same dealer every night.
Yeah, it's like,
she's
buddy.
like, yo, we need to go shopping for you.
And Antonia was probably thinking, she's like, I have to be seen in public with you. Can you not buy 6 of the same shirt, please?
Can we make a pact right now
Mm.
that when me and Audrey have kids,
Yeah.
that we both go out and buy white New Balance shoes?
No, I'm not doing it.
And high white socks.
No.
and khaki shorts.
Antonia wanted to buy me New Balance, and I'm like, you're gonna waste your money. I'll never put them on my feet. I don't wear running shoes anyways.
I will wear those to family events.
That's yeah. You know what? As a goof for you, if you want to do it that bad, I will do it. But
yes,
they're going straight in the garbage.
like you know,
after.
like we're just having like a couple friends over,
Sure.
like barbecue.
All right, fine. But
we just show up matching T-shirts, tucked in shirts,
and like cargo shorts.
Yeah. They got to be the brown, like the khaki.
You can never
cargo
have too many
shirts.
fucking pockets.
Yeah, you can.
My thing, I don't wear running shoes. I've never been a running shoe guy.
You've always been either like a casual dress or
flip-flops.
or like a sneaker.
No, I don't even like. Yeah, I guess a sneaker would be
Yeah.
more like
Almost like a
like Chucks.
yeah.
Is like as
Yeah.
about as casual as like a pretty standard shoe.
yeah,
I would
that
wear.
or almost like
or
a,
like something nicer to wear out for a night or something.
yeah,
But in the summertime, I don't even put socks on my feet unless I'm golfing.
yeah.
I'm just
I don't know how you do that.
I can't. I hate socks.
Really? Eh?
Hate shoes.
I have to wear socks.
There's times in the wintertime, you can ask Antonia this, where like if I know we don't have to make any stops, I will go like if we're going down to her parents' house. I've done it in shorts and sandals before in the
Oh.
dead of winter.
Yeah, who cares? I do that all the time.
It's just because I want to be comfortable. Like I wear
Yeah.
shorts all year long.
I do that all
That's
the
how I
time.
roll. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to.
I only wear shorts in like at the house.
But every time you show up here, you're in fucking jeans.
Yeah, because I want to look nice when I go out.
Oh, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Well, I've stopped.
Yeah.
Like slowly, like I think the other day I might have showed up in my Zach shorts.
I love shorts. I'm all in on those now.
Yeah, you should look up Chubbies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reasonably
they're like
priced?
they're like an athletic cotton, stretchy as shit.
Are they like skin tight though?
No.
Loose?
No. Well, yeah,
Okay.
and I wouldn't say they're like super loose, but they're not tight.
All right.
They're not like
They're not
fucking
like I'm not like biking the Tour de France.
no.
Okay.
They're not like that. But you can get like up to like 4-inch shorts, like and all the way down like inseam.
I'm in.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Chubbies.
Yeah, Chubbies. Write it down. Same for you out there. We should see if they want to sponsor the podcast.
They are.
If you want to, you could hit us up at mail.twoseasonpod@gmail.com or message me on my Instagram. It's CJ Shade, SCHADE. The plugs are just coming today.
Flying out of our mouths. We can't even control it. Before you go off on your ancient civilization
Yes.
tangent, which I'm all in.
Yes.
I love this shit. I did want to talk about UFOs briefly.
Oh, I want to talk about UFOs.
I know.
You keep forgetting to send me some shit.
I know, but there's not
Then
much
I
to
keep forgetting to look it up because I'm too invested.
It's
in
fine.
this.
We're gonna stick with ancient civilizations until we're fucking blue in the face. But the only thing I wanted to address, because we spoke about it a couple podcasts ago and we never addressed it.
Let's address it.
The Pentagon report, like the UFO release, the
Did
government.
they do another release? Because they were
did.
supposed to.
They did a big one, and then they did the big one like on the 21st.
Okay.
The U.S. government has said that they don't know what they are. They say they stop short of calling them aliens because they don't know if they're aliens. They're
Yeah.
just basically saying, look, all these things, all these rumors that you heard over the years are all true.
Yeah.
We don't know what they are, but what we can tell you is it's not us. So the other like theory was out there was like every time you saw one of these UFOs, it was like U.S. tech and like development.
Yeah.
which has a real historical thing because like the SR-71 Blackbird plane, that was spotted all the time and people thought it was a fucking UFO
yeah. So
when that was in development. And same thing with like the stealth fighter and shit.
Well, yeah, and then when actual like drones that regular humans could go out and buy,
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, there's these green and red flashing
Mhm.
lights." I bought my drone. I'm like, man, like over hundreds of these fucking alleged UFO sightings. They're just people flying these drones because
Yeah.
you can get them at fucking Best Buy or Henry's. Like,
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, and your neighbor can be flying them, like,
So
well, not
although they're
anymore, but
like, it's probably not the stuff that came out isn't great for us to like bring up on the podcast because we don't have like a way of really like showing all the images and videos and stuff. Um, just people go out and look for it. It wasn't. It was like underwhelming in the sense that people thought that the government was gonna be like it's 100% aliens, but they
Yeah.
don't know that it's 100% aliens. You know,
well, yeah, well,
they just the thing that was interesting was they said it definitely isn't us, and it's not like some advanced tech that we're working on. Like they confirmed pretty much all the videos that come out now are legit.
so didn't they confirm too that, like, okay, it's one to say it's not us in the sense that it's like it's not the states, but didn't they confirm that it's not like Russia? It's not.
Russia and China, I believe, have both independently sort of stated on their own that it's also not them.
Yeah,
And they're pretty much the only games in town.
yeah,
You know, everyone else is an ally. Like NATO, like Europe is all pretty much allied.
yeah.
So you got who's the
I just wanted to bring
adversaries?
that up so that, like,
No, yeah,
saying
for
it's
sure.
not us. Yeah, okay, it's not United States, Canada type shit.
Yeah,
but
and it's not
it's
like
also not Russia or
and
China.
it's definitely not North Korea because they couldn't fucking light off a firecracker, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's really the only players. It's gonna be one of those three big guys,
Yeah,
and it doesn't appear to be any of them. And again, they say it's not us, and I think that's interesting as fuck anyway.
I think
I just
the
don't know
whole-
how it's the only thing we don't.
I can't believe it's not talked about more, and I'm surprised it didn't blow up after Rogan posted it on his social media. Some of the videos, and that was weeks ago, if not a couple months.
The one for me that I thought would change it was when 60 Minutes did it. They did a whole thing on it.
Yeah,
And that is like as like legacy mainstream media as you can get. There's a lot of people that watch that would think UFOs are fucking tin pot conspiracy theory bullshit.
yeah,
And then after they watch it, they're like, holy fuck, it's real.
yeah.
And it didn't really seem to move the needle society wise. And I'm sure the government's quite happy with that because if we think
Oh,
that this is all the
100%.
information that they know,
Well,
we're lying.
Nobody except for the people working in Area 51 know what's in Area 51.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck is in Area 51?
Aside from like a bunch of legit developmental space, like aerospace tech, who knows?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, the rumor has it that they have like
Crafts and shit.
aliens, some weird fucking shit.
So I read a book about the history of Area 51, and there was like this girl Annie Jacobson. It's a really interesting book, and it's not history of Area 51 about UFOs. It's just about the history, like how it started as like a nuclear test site and slowly evolved into like this secret base where like the SR-71 and stealth fighter and all that shit was developed. But she couldn't write the book obviously without addressing UFOs. So she had like her big scoop in this, which I guess is a big get. She got the former head of the base. She interviewed him before he died, and he said, "As long as I'm alive, you cannot release anything that I tell you. But once I'm dead,
Go for it.
go to town."
Yeah, do
So
what you
her
want.
big scoop is that the Roswell crash, which everyone says is how they got the UFOs and the aliens, wasn't actually aliens. It was Soviet Union black propaganda dropped on U.S. soil.
All right.
Yeah. So
Why couldn't they have
in 1947, well, here's the thing. Disinformation's a super real thing.
Yeah.
Disinformation.
Also, instilling fear is a real thing.
Yeah. Like CIA peddles in disinformation. So if the sky is blue, they're gonna fucking tell you that the sky's not actually blue. It's pretty green if you really look at it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So what's an acceptable narrative to get out there as far as like a UFO crash and how they acquired bodies and craft at the site? So supposedly in 1947, just after World War II, and the Cold War is ramping the fuck up, Russia invaded U.S. airspace without anyone's knowledge, which, if anyone knows, that's ridiculous. Dropped this drone or like made to look flying saucer thing down, just let it crash into the desert.
Yeah.
And they had mentally disabled children who they had performed fucked up experiments on to make them look like aliens.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like super, like, even if it's not real, it's a super disturbing thing that's what this guy's telling you is what happened. And so,
Jesus.
and drone technology's been around a long time. They were using it in World War II. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like remote control shit's not out of the realm of
It's
possibility.
just new for
The thing
the
that would
rest
be a
of
big shocker
society.
is that if the Soviets were able to penetrate American airspace, because they've never done that before, and then we're able to drop this down. And the reasoning for this, because like I think it does a pretty good insight as to like there's so much shit that they're fucking with each other about that we don't even like we play on a we don't they're on such a different level.
There's so much shit that happens
Yeah.
that literally nobody finds out about. And I believe if you do find out about it or you're a witness, deuces.
For a layman person, maybe.
You're gone.
Yeah, you might be right.
You're gone.
So the crash,
even if you're in like, let's say, okay, so some way high up shit. You're an FBI dude. Let's just say you fucking see some shit you're not supposed to see. Boom, gone.
Are you trying to tell me that someone who
Gone.
shot Kennedy from the grassy knoll isn't alive anymore?
Gone. Gone. Gone, dude. Come on.
So apparently I'd have to go back and double check it.
The government
But the reason
the greatest of all time, best gangster mob families ever that just grew into this fucking actual legitimate business.
Define that as you will. Yeah. But I know what you're saying.
They're the best organized crime family.
Definitely.
And
No
they
question
call
about
themselves the government.
And they're here to help.
You couldn't have come up with a cooler name? Like, are you
if you think about it, the government is kind of a cool name. Like back in the 1800s.
No, I feel like it was one guy and he's like, I want to be called the government. And then his buddy's like, no, that's what we're going to be called.
Fucking gangsters. But anyway.
And for those of you who don't know, I am
out of your mind.
Yeah, and I'm so sold on the mafia.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Okay. I disagree with you. I don't like any mob, whether it's government sanctioned or
That's
not.
Fine.
But that said, if you could,
if they came knocking
mob,
tomorrow,
no, but if the mob offered me less taxes, I might be inclined to support them. If they were like, listen, we should get rid of this whole government thing, and this is how much money you'll have in your pocket, I'd be like, when are we starting?
Yeah. Did we already start?
Can I vote for you?
Do I need to sign a contract?
How do we do this?
Yeah. Do I need to cut my hand and give you a bloody handshake? Or do we just spit in our hands and shake hands?
Or do we just shake hands like a normal person?
No,
who knows?
That's not good enough, Chris.
Fuck all that. So anyway, I think the reasoning supposedly the CIA guy says is the reason that Stalin would want to do this is to, I think the initial thing was to instill like some sort of mass chaos in the United States, that they weren't like superior and like there's UFOs out there and look, the aliens crashed. He thought it would be a big deal, but it obviously got fucking swept under the rug immediately.
Yeah. Same with this one. This release of all their shit. Yeah,
just quiet, right? But I thought that was the most fascinating part of the book. And like, and the book is excellent. Like, it's really, really good. But I thought that, I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, if that's true, it's just like insane to think about. And like, obviously they'd sweep it under the rug.
That's fucked up. But at the same time, it's like,
it also,
I don't know.
It also,
they do some fucking shady shit.
And also, it's not outside of the realm of possibility because the Soviets, another book I read by her, Operation Paperclip, is about like the Soviets and US trying to get as many Nazi scientists as they could after the war, like to advance their military states.
Yeah.
Because the Germans, technology-wise, were like far ahead. It's just they didn't have the industrial might as the other nations.
Right.
And so the Soviets allegedly had Nazi doctors who had done this sort of thing as far as experiments on humans, knew how to make them look like they were not all this shit. And then they built some sort of craft, fired it off. I don't think it's true in the sense that if the United States had their airspace invaded back then, they would have known. They had radar capabilities,
Yeah, but
you know.
you also got to think like if they got invaded, let's say it's one ship that.
It would have been one plane with this thing attached underneath of it.
Yeah, so if one plane's coming over,
but I just don't know.
I don't know
if the Soviets had that technology to travel that far.
True.
You know, like I don't know what the range of bombers at the end of World War II was not very high.
No.
You know, they didn't have you couldn't take off on the west coast of California and fly to Europe.
Yeah.
You can do that now. I don't think they could do that then. But either way, the prospect of that is extremely disturbing and chilling if that's true.
Yeah,
if that's what
up.
Roswell was.
Yeah.
But then Roswell is such a bigger can of worms that I think there's more evidence to say that it wasn't that. And I think that it's just typical government disinformation to give to a prominent author. And then hopefully she'll let this account out and people go, okay, we're done thinking about Roswell.
Yeah.
Because it came from this top official.
I remember watching a couple podcasts when COVID first hit and things got started, things were locked down and there was a big uproar and so many people were so scared and didn't know what the fuck was happening. And then couple months later, into the summer, everybody, all the comedians down in the States were like, hey, I'm ready for the fucking aliens. The aliens are coming this. And it was right around that time, they these little videos and snippets started to come out. I'm like, here we go. Aliens are here and it's about to happen.
There was a meme that was 2020 and it was January something
yeah.
January, February, and March before COVID. There was something fucked up that happened in each 3 of those months.
Well, didn't Kobe die?
Kobe died in January.
Yeah.
Something happened in February. And it was so it was so-and-so died. This happened. COVID in March, April, aliens. It was something like that.
Oh, I think it was before Kobe died. I think it was in 2019. Brian Callen, comedian, did some fucking shit on Rogan's podcast. It was some crazy rain stick or some spiritual thing, and he fucking did what you were supposed to do. And they used to joke about it all the time.
He was the one that caused it?
Yeah. And then because literally after he did that, it was all this shit started to happen.
Nonsense.
It was so funny.
The best one I saw was whoever the fuck's playing Jumanji, can you please hurry up and finish the game?
Oh man.
Anyway, that's the because I've been meaning to bring that up for a couple episodes, but basically the report's out. German government says we don't know.
Yeah.
Or the U.S. government anyway. Our government has a very different historical stance on it.
So here's my thing.
As in they're just ask us, we'll tell you we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They don't have so much secrets. They're we have a lot of because we have insane reports here.
Yeah.
All from military installations because we have bases all over because again the Cold War, so you got shit all over and you have advanced radars and all this stuff.
Yep.
And we can tell you
technology.
We can tell you some shit.
Yeah.
But just you never asked.
Yeah.
And you're what do you got? They're here, have a look.
I forget what I was gonna fucking say.
But anyway,
it's crazy, man.
I'm sorry I interrupted you at the start of when you're on your diatribe about ancient civilizations, but you're fully down the rabbit hole now. I think that's what we can gather.
100% down the rabbit hole, and I just love talking about it, and I love learning more about it. Watching that Randall Carlson podcast, and he's showing Google images of places in the States.
The one with the hills that look like ripples in the sand? Remember the ones I was telling you about?
He talked about that for a bit, but there was another one where it was a canyon. And it's why hasn't this been looked at in any shape or manner? Why hasn't it been, because when the comet hit Earth or whatever, it left those crystal fragments or
it leaves volcanic glass basically. There's some fancy word for it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but they're why hasn't or they'll find these fragments here and over here, but never put the two together.
Mm-hmm. They're separate incidences or something.
Yeah, and then he was showing a chart of precipitation And it was like, oh, it's like steady. It's like kind of flat
And then
line.
10 to 12,000 years ago,
And then it just fucking
it's
like
insane.
jumps a massive amount, and not gradually.
No, like it's straight
it's
up.
a fucking straight up spike, and then it drops down pretty rapidly.
Mhm.
And I don't quote me
Basically-
on this. It was like over 1,000 years or
Yeah.
like 500
So
years. It wasn't a small
The,
time. but
the
that just-
range that he's talking about is the Younger Dryas period,
yeah,
which is that magic of 12 to 10,000 years ago,
yeah,
where there's all this shit that basically the world was thrown into an upheaval. You
Mhm.
have rain off the charts. You have evidence in southern Ontario and throughout North America of
but not
comet
even just
strikes.
not even just like rain though.
Oh,
like
all over the world
just
was like
water
chaos.
in
Yeah.
general. And if
You had shorelines disappear under the waves forever now.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and what he was saying is like, okay, there was a river here or a flood here, but it wasn't like, I think they were calling it like I can't remember, something tsunami, and it wasn't like one that's like created from the earth shifting and then it like the last one that happened.
No, it's from shit melting and running down like a river.
Yeah, and the impact alone, like if
Mhm.
something else hit the into the ocean, that impact, like it doesn't have to be the size of,
Yeah.
like could be just like an off piece. But then again, he was saying like,
Like we didn't have a world ender comet, and that's not what he's saying.
no, it didn't explode Earth.
No,
or
but
anything.
it did enough to potentially trigger the melting of the ice caps.
Yeah.
Right.
And even when that's what they said too, or what Randall said, is that when the comet came in, it's coming in at crazy speeds. So that thing is hot.
Yeah.
That
It's like
thing's
a
like,
knife through butter.
that thing's like a rock that's been sitting in a sauna for 3 days, and that sauna's been pumping.
And throw it on a block of ice.
Yeah, now throw it on a block of ice and see what the fuck happens.
It's gonna go-
And
yeah.
That's pretty much
And-
what happened.
and
The
how much-
Earth's
and-
temperature rose, not just in an area, like in general.
Mhm.
And then there was a shit ton of rain because shit was melting. And oh my god, like, and he was talking about it. He's like, we're not talking about just like a couple feet or like maybe like 20 feet of water coming
No.
through. We're talking about like million cubic feet of water.
Yeah, like kilometers high of water.
Yeah, like 1,000. Yeah, like
Yeah.
1,000 kilometers or something deep, and this thing is rushing through. And then he was showing images inside this one like little valley and canyon. You see these massive rocks, and they're like, "Well, yeah, where did you think it went? Like, sure, some of it like broke and disintegrated and shit like that. But there's these massive boulders that are just chilling like down there, and it's like that was rushing through and destroying like everything in its path.
Yeah.
And then it just
Because the water pushed it
Settled
along,
there.
right?
yeah,
It'd be like throwing a pebble into a river right now. It's going to get pushed down.
Mhm.
But except these pebbles are fucking massive
Yeah,
boulders that
these
get
things
moved
are-
around on the earth. But if people are wondering where we're going with this and where I was talking about last week, the question is always like the skeptics are always like, show me where the ancient civilization is. Show me the evidence. Well, and what Randall Carlson, Graham Hancock, I feel do a good job of is pointing out that there is no question that the earth was in this crazy tumultuous period
Yeah.
for about 2,000 years. So there's where your fucking civilization went. You had fucking floods. You had fucking all these things in all the ancient cultures in Scandinavia and Peru, all across the world, like the old hunter-gatherer civilizations. Talk about this time where the earth was doing fucking crazy shit. Like in
Yeah.
Scandinavia, they talk about like the wolf fought the giant and then it snowed for 200 years
Yeah.
in this time frame. And then it's different down there where the earth shifted up. The earth was in a fucking bad spot. So why couldn't whatever was there before get smashed and wiped out?
Yeah.
Or at least damaged enough where you can't continue on. And then time just does its course where if things change or if things move around, shit just goes away.
They also talked about, and I can't remember the actual area where they found this, but while these what do you call the fucking dinosaur people looker uppers?
Paleontologists?
Yeah, so I think it was them. They were like digging in a site, and they noticed digging down, so you go through like your normal like layers
Yeah.
or whatever. Then they hit this like layer that's like black, and it's compressed and whatever, and it's like a couple inches thick, if not like an inch thick.
And the nice thing about those layers is they're basically like timestamps.
Yeah.
You know when they happened in time.
So they're like, okay, so like, but why is this one layer black? Because you go deeper and it's like kind of what it was above. It's almost like an Oreo, like a reverse Oreo.
Yeah.
And so they started to analyze that black layer. I can't remember what they called it. And it ended up being like ash.
Oh.
So there was a massive fucking fire that burnt everything.
And was so huge that it obviously left a mark in the time.
An imprint in the earth.
The geological record.
Yeah. And it's like everything they're finding like of like megafauna is below that black layer. So how is it?
Which coincides with the die-off and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it all falls into the same time frame.
So how was it that humans are to blame for the killing and extinction of all these megafauna?
That's what I was saying about that.
Like
my brother-in-law's professor.
It just doesn't make sense.
No.
And again, I understand why other scientists like Graham Hancock who
they get shit on.
They get shit on because they try to not shit on somebody else's work, but give an alternative like, I think you're wrong.
But let's work together.
Yeah.
They don't want to work together.
But they don't want to fucking work it out.
No.
And Graham did mention in this podcast that I was listening to that with science, like sciences, it's like you're doing what you're doing, we're doing what we're doing, and that's it. Like you do you, we do us, and whatever. They don't like work together or like take but we found this.
Yeah, like someone digging for dinosaur bones isn't going to call up a geologist to say,
look at the rocks or,
hey, have you guys evaluated what happened in this time period, blah, 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 in this area? Do you know anything? But they're just like, oh, that's interesting. Let's write it down and just keep moving.
Yeah, and so like it's not like they're working together. And the way he said, I'm like, that's so dumb. Because you look at any other fucking like industry or whatever it is, and you have multiple people, multiple groups working together to figure out either a solution or
yes and
history. And
I mean, I mean, it's a silly way to do it, but I mean, you have a lot of compartmentalization in any industry, so it's not outside the realm of possibility. Also, I get that. Yeah, and also you have to consider is they're not there looking for something that proves that an ancient civilization had some sort of global cataclysm and went away.
Yeah,
they just look at it and make an interesting note in the fossil record and just keep moving, right? They're not.
Yeah, but
they're looking at it for different reasons. Like we're here to find fucking some like some rock at 15,000 years.
Yeah, but you would think that's
what we're funded to go find.
Yeah, no, I get that, but then somebody's funding them. Like there's a chain.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's overseeing other shit.
But you have to,
and you would think that like, okay, hold on a second, like these two kind of meet up in a sense.
Yeah, but the problem is,
can we not
dogma,
look at that, or like, can we not get the two main dudes from each thing to kind of sit down and have a meeting,
have a conversation, at least
have a conversation? Yeah. Like, okay, like, what did you find? We found this. Here's the evidence.
That's interesting.
That's interesting because we found the exact same fucking thing over here. And what's crazy is like nobody's really putting like 2 and 2 together of all these monolithic sites that are ginormous
and supposedly built by hunter-gatherers.
Yeah, and
before we had agriculture and civilization.
Yeah, and they all have very like me, an idiot who knows absolutely nothing, looking at 2 of the sites can be like, oh, they're very similar.
You can find comparisons.
Yeah, in like just the way the rocks are manufactured.
Yeah,
and also the size. And okay, how they get them up 300 feet in the air?
Mm-hmm.
Like what? And not just like once, like, and not just like 30 kilometers down the road. No, it's across the fucking seas.
Yeah, or from like 1,000 kilometers away.
And they did the exact same fucking thing. And you're telling me,
this is the thing with like the conventional thought. You had all these cultures, but none of them interacted with each other.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like coincidence that you have a structure in Peru that looks a lot like a structure found in Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a coincidence that you have pyramids in Mesoamerica and in uh, Egypt. All made. They still don't really know how they made them. You know. Now this obviously doesn't apply to all fucking things, but like when you listen to the people that were in Mesoamerica talk about their pyramids, they always say these things have been around forever.
Yeah.
You know, they were built forever. We didn't build them, but we ascribe them to like people that were around like 500, 600, 1,000, 2,000 years ago. And they're like, it wasn't us.
Yes. So then who the fuck was it? They were just placed there?
They tell you who did it and they're all of their stories and stuff, but it just, like I was saying last week, we just put it down to myth.
Yeah. And
there's a big, back to what you were saying about how the two don't meet up.
Haven't they crossed through like what you were saying with like their ancestors telling stories and shit? But if you look at like a couple of the cultures, don't their fucking like things kind of like line up?
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
So the one, I mentioned this last week, the Peru and like the Peru area, I'm talking about like that whole like South American side, because there was like the Incas and stuff. Their origin story and their origin story with people in Mesoamerica, Central America, who didn't interact are eerily similar. The people that taught them how to build all these amazing things like Machu Picchu and pyramids and the Inca lines or the Nazca lines, I think. Nazca lines. Things that are drawn on the planet, which are huge. Then you have the pyramids in Mexico and Central America. And then you have the Egyptians, and their origin story is also similar. And basically what it is in, I believe the one in Peru, they say men came from across the water. And basically told us all there is to know.
But hang on, they didn't know how to sail the seas.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to navigate.
And they say that they came across the water on like, they'll say like on like the backs of snakes or stuff like that.
Or on a serpent.
Or on a serpent. But also, is that not just a way for them to describe something that they cannot explain?
Yeah, it was like a man took like all of us across the seas on
the backs of serpents.
On the back of serpents and navigated us to here. And
this is how we ended up here.
Yeah. And started a civilization.
Yeah, like if there was an ancient civilization that was in the process of being destroyed or whatever, and they sent basically people out to the four corners of the globe, and we spoke about this last week, if fucking shit hits the fan and all of this civilization gets wiped out, there's going to be humans that survive it. Yeah. It's always the hunter-gatherers that survive it. So
yeah, it's like if something were to happen today.
Some people don't know what cell phones are on this planet. Yeah. There's very few of them that don't, but there's people that are walking around right now that don't know what cell phones are.
Yeah. Believe it or not.
If you came to them and showed up in a craft that they've never seen before, whether it be a fucking like an aluminum boat.
Yeah.
The only words that they have to describe it are things that look similar and they know in their vocabulary.
Yeah.
So, but when current scholars who are so fucking smarter than everyone else, here they came from across the water on the backs of serpents. Oh, here we go. We're back into mythology now.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just describing a vessel that they can't explain and have no words in their language to explain properly.
Yeah, but if you also look at a lot of the ship's details and stuff, they put like serpents and they carved like
look at the Vikings. They put the heads of shit on theirs too, right?
Yeah, so it's like okay, that's what they're considering it.
Yeah, Egypt,
or that's what they're calling it.
Egypt, Peru, and Mesoamerica are the three ones that their stories are insane.
Yeah,
the way that they line up.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
In that book, they discuss it.
It blows my mind that there's not, I guess, more talk about it. Maybe there is, and we're just not in the right fucking groups.
The problem is dogma,
or like
right?
more research coming out.
You see it with everything, and there's a general like, this is the narrative, and this is how things are going down, and this is how like this is how we've built our industries, and anyone that deviates out of it is a crackpot, pseudoscientist, fucking liar, skeptic, whatever.
Yeah.
Even though they're just like being honest and just presenting evidence that's to the contrary, they just get shit on. Like there's a lot of debates you can see with like Graham Hancock and like Egyptologists and shit. He fucking mops the floor with them. He knows more about their shit than they do.
Yeah, didn't one guy like walk out on him?
Probably. I've seen a bunch.
In his face and fucking just walked out.
Yeah, because he was like he couldn't debate him.
Yeah.
He's like, so like, for example, like if an Egyptologist is talking about something that happened in the year 5000 BC, Graham can be like, well, that can't be because blah, 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 blah. And he'll be like, no, it happened this because we said it happened with this. The burden of proof is on them. You're 100% sure saying that this happened in this time frame.
Yeah.
You have to show that it happened. And if I present evidence that says it didn't happen there, you're not right just because you say, well, it is because it is.
Yeah.
And that's what they do.
And it doesn't make sense.
As soon as you start poking holes in it, it starts to fucking fall apart.
Yeah. It just blows my mind. And I wish scientists were a little more and like archaeologists and all these other people. Like, I just wish they would an open mind. Like, I get it. Who am I to say that like I'm not a scientist. I haven't done my life's work on trying to figure out a certain civilization or certain monument or whatever and trying to figure out and date shit. And then some fucking dude off the street comes in and goes, no. You got this all wrong.
Yeah.
You just spent your entire life to prove nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so that it has to be hard. I'm not saying it isn't, but also like maybe just have an open mind.
Well, the whole point of science is to
Like,
explore different ideas.
Yeah, and again, like, I don't think these guys are completely wrong. I just think they're
missing parts of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And if they all work together, they could probably figure some shit out.
Yeah.
Like the thing I don't know if you spoke about in this, but I think he touches it on in this, and in Sapiens he talks about it, but it's just because in Sapiens, Harari's just using like the most conventional stuff.
Right.
But I feel like he does a really good job of basically saying, he's like, this is like generally what's thought, but at the end of the day, we don't know because it's not like 100% confirmed. So I find he's intellectually honest about that. He's like, this is what the conventional thought is, but could be different.
Could be different.
Some people say this, some people say that. If you're looking for humans in North America and you find a site that's like 12,000 years old, often what happens is like, perfect. It's the oldest site we found. That's it. We can stop looking.
We fucking figured it out.
Stop looking.
Yeah.
We found it.
Yeah.
And that's what they did with the Clovis people. Clovis first is like the thing. But again, every year they find more and more shit in North America that says that humans have been here a lot fucking longer. Like the mastodon bones I spoke about last week, which are 130,000 years old.
That's fucked.
Yeah. So there was hunter-gatherers in North America smashing elephant mastodon bones, which are basically giant elephants.
Yeah.
Apart to get to the marrow and the bones. And then you can mimic them exactly on current elephant bones with using the same tools. It looks the exact same.
Wow. Crazy.
Weird.
But
you find, but people go through, they find one site, they're like, that's it. And then you can fill in the blanks from there. Like you didn't find much. You found a couple bones and that's it. Like you don't know you don't know anything about this people.
Yeah.
You don't even know what they were called because you called them Clovis because of the area that they were found in.
Yeah.
You know nothing about them.
Yeah, you know, absolutely.
You don't know, like, why you assume that they just showed up here? Like how maybe they moved from a different area. Maybe their people were here forever. Who knows?
Yeah. Like what I've been trying to wrap my head around is to say that like there wasn't people on like part of the earth, but people just like happened to grow from one little area. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like obviously there was people here before before the people from Europe came over and all this other shit. Like you can't tell me that there wasn't.
What do you mean? Sorry.
Like
the conventional timeline?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Like if there was one group over here and the rest of the world hasn't been explored or anything like that, there's definitely other fucking...
Yeah, you're not the only people around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like to say that with our solar system and like the universe. Like there are definitely other living beings.
Speaking of that, Neil deGrasse Tyson has like been tweeting the last 2 days, just like
crazy shit.
Shit talking aliens. He's been on like a fucking like aliens aren't real shit.
Oh my
it's like
God.
And everyone's like, are you okay?
Yeah,
relax.
You good, bro?
I would have thought an astrophysicist who's as smart and as interesting as a man like that would be at least open-minded. Apparently he's like, fuck you. He doesn't give a fuck.
Well,
he tweeted out, I think yesterday or today, he like tweeted out a photo of like the universe and all the stars and all that shit. And he's like, and we think we're interesting.
Oh, it is true. We're very naive.
No. If we
Yes.
found us on another planet, we would think it's fucking interesting. You know?
Yeah,
He's
but
saying
like for now,
he's saying
though,
that aliens aren't interested in us.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Dude. We're their science experiments. And they thought we fucking, you know why they're coming back now? Because the last time they were here was fucking like 10,000 years ago. And or
like,
12,
we gotta get the fuck out of here.
When did the comet hit? Like between like
10 and 12,000 years ago.
Yeah. So they saw that happened. And they're like, oh, fuck.
We'll check back in a little
No,
while.
no. That's it. Our science experiment's gone. We just failed science class.
And then we started setting off nukes in the 40s and then they got a little tickle through the universe. They're like, they're back and they're setting off fucking bombs that can destroy the planet.
How did they survive that?
Yeah.
Randall was saying some crazy shit that when there was an asteroid or some shit that hit a distant planet or whatever, and the explosion on the planet was bigger than the Earth.
Yeah, I believe that. It was probably
like what?
Is he talking about because there was explosions that they caught of like comets crashing into Jupiter like in the 70s or 80s.
It might have been that.
And they're like, because Jupiter's so big and these comets were so big, it was like the explosions were larger than the planet.
Yeah.
And Jupiter's just like, that ain't shit.
Like it's so crazy, man. Like, have you ever thought like, what if a comet were to come towards us?
I try not to.
Okay, like I would like to think that we have some type of measure, like shoot some motherfucking rockets at this thing.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
We are.
I'm on that line, but because I think that thing's coming in so fucking
also,
hot. I don't think there'd be enough time to
they
put
fucking miss
together.
shit all the time. There was one a couple months ago and it missed us like just barely. And they didn't know it was there until it was like 8 minutes before it almost missed us.
Jesus.
Yeah. There's shit like that all the time.
That's fucked.
Listen, we're in a shooting gallery. You know, there's fucking rocks flying around.
Maybe the next
there.
one that hits us will be like ice, and it'll put us back into an ice age.
I fucking hope not, because here's the thing.
I
like,
hate the winter.
No, it's not that. It's just generally for the survival of humans. Everyone is like, global warming's the worst fucking thing. Blah 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 blah. Okay, sure, that's fine.
Hasn't global warming been happening since like the dawn of time? We've just kind of sped up the process.
We've probably sped up the process for sure.
But anyway, it's like the inevitable anyways.
The narrative is like, we're going to destroy the planet and there's going to be nobody left. Well, global warming is a hell of a lot better than global cooling, because 10,000 years ago, where we're sitting right now was under a mile of ice.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure
crazy.
Like if like we can deal with warming better than we can deal with fucking cooling.
Yeah, unless we get those floods that happened.
Well, I'm not going to say we're not going to get fucked up by it. And I don't want people to lose their minds. Like,
no, lose your minds.
But
go insane.
It's better off
panic.
It's better off getting warm.
You should make a panic room.
Also, the best part about getting warm is we can finally figure out what the fuck's in Antarctica.
Dude, I'm a little more curious with the Amazon right now.
Well, the Amazon just eats everything, right?
After
the
listening
jungle?
to Graham. Yeah, but they've found so much shit.
Yeah.
And some of the research, it's not proven that there was this many people, but the civilization and some of the shit that they're seeing and the way they can see it is they're doing like this crazy laser shit from helicopters, which scans the landscape and that gives them a
ground
vision.
Penetrating radar and shit.
Yeah. And the civilization and structures and
there's cities all over the Amazon.
Yeah. That could hold like 20 million people.
No.
Yeah.
No, not cities that can hold 20 million. There was so many cities in the Amazon that you could have had up to 2 to 20 million people.
Yeah, okay. Still, 2 million people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of fucking people. Yeah. That's insane. And we
but the
literally
thing is,
know nothing about the Amazon because
the jungle eats it all, right? It just disappears.
Yeah.
And it's like so hard to work through.
And it's because the aliens are there and they're killing everybody that comes in.
You like blending the two.
Yeah, I do.
I don't dislike it.
I wouldn't be surprised if down the road there was some like fucking thing and it's like, yeah, you know what? They've been here this entire time and this is why we can't go into the bottom of the oceans and this is why we can't go into the Amazon, because they have two headquarters. They got one underwater and they've got one in the Amazon.
I think that the UFOs have been here forever.
Yeah, I don't think they have. I think they check in periodically, and I think it's multiple, not just one set group of aliens.
I mean, once you find Earth, and like maybe they're like us, right? Maybe they're like on the constant search for life in the solar
Yeah.
in the universe. They have extreme technology, so now they have the benefit of going to different galaxies
Mhm.
with relative ease.
Maybe
let's
they're
say.
closer than we think.
Maybe they are. But anyway, they're obviously a species that I'm not saying obviously as if any of this is true. I'm just speculating.
Yeah.
None of this is proven. I'm assuming that if there was a species out there and they've been here and we have all this footage and shit like that, I don't think they're like here to harm us because I think they would have done that by now. You know, I don't think it's like
100%.
I don't think it's like Independence Day where like they show up and blow up
No.
the White House, you know?
They might if we do something stupid though.
Well, I'm sure they could put us in our place pretty quick.
But that's what I'm saying.
But I
like,
don't think that's their intent. I think they're like
and I agree with you
checking
on that.
shit
But
out.
like again,
Yeah.
look at how dumb our governments can be.
Yeah.
All around the world.
Yeah.
Some dumb dude's like, yo, we need to shoot a missile at this motherfucker. Tell him what's up. And he dodges it because his aircraft is crazy. Goes back and brings back all his boys.
I don't think they need to do that.
I don't think so either.
I think us shooting a missile at them is the equivalent of someone throwing a rock or like a pebble.
Well, yeah, because they're going to dodge it because their defense systems are nuts.
Possibly, yeah. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say. I mean, we're out there looking for life. Like we send out like the Voyagers and all that shit like that to go out and be like, hello, if anyone's out there, we're also here. Like maybe we're the first planet that they found that had any life and not just happened to be intelligent life, but like say there was no humans here. There's a fucking ton of life on this planet.
Yeah.
It's super interesting. It's obviously hospitable. Let's study it. What's the atmosphere made of? What's this? And if we have the ability to go there all the time, you can just go and hang out,
Yeah,
or you can send probes there, whatever the fuck, right? It's probably what they're doing here. Like we're obsessed with trying to find life on Mars. That's one planet away.
Yeah.
We can get there in 6 months.
Yeah.
That's not that long.
No, not in the grand scheme.
No, like the amount of miles that it is in between, and we can get there in 6 months. And then there might be life there. We would lose our fucking shits.
Yeah, but that's a might. How many planets are in our solar system?
Yeah, there's
that
a bunch.
Aren't livable on, or that we
Mhm.
think aren't livable on, because
we spoke about this, and I've been meaning to go back and double check on it. I might check it for next week, but they found like a bacteria that's only emitted by either life or artificial, like a byproduct of like industry on Venus.
Nice.
Yeah, like we spoke about this months ago.
Yeah, must have been.
But it was like they're finding interesting shit all the time that's worth looking at. So maybe these guys from wherever the fuck they are, Zeta Reticules, number 9, like hello,
hey, we're here.
Maybe you guys should stop fucking around with nuclear warheads.
Yeah, and maybe focus your energy on something else.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
It's crazy.
It's all just interesting.
This whole there's so much we don't know about our own planet, yet there's so much focus on like what's past our planet, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
I think we have to have that look.
We do, but wouldn't it be like? I think we might find things that'll help us figure out more about space and shit. Because again, looking at the Giza pyramids, how they're aligned with
whoever built them knew science and engineering and understood the cosmos,
the stars and shit like that. So I think in the grand scheme of things, it'll help us. But there's so much shit we haven't discovered just here.
Yeah, and again, back to how hard it is to find fossils. We're probably never going to find any of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, we'd have to be extremely lucky. And also, we'd have to be looking for it, and it's expensive to look for it.
Yep.
You know, these technologies, and here, like this is where we were talking about scholars, to give them a bit of credit. If you're a PhD in archaeology or geology, or whatever the fuck you're in, and you're interested in this sort of shit, you will never get money to explore it.
No. If you do, it'll be nil.
Well, how you get your funding is you go to the university or you go to a private investor and be like, we're looking for this, and this, and this is why this is an important find. And people are like, You're looking for what now? You're looking for ancient civilization? Well, we don't have any ancient civilizations. Why the fuck am I going to give you a nickel? This guy wants millions of my dollars of my money
Yeah.
to go and look for something that's I know that's not there. So instead, he has to be like, okay, fine, we're going to go and examine the fossil bed of fucking 15,000 to 25,000 years ago to examine if there's any interesting finds. We think that if we look in this area, we may be able to find evidence of fucking saber-toothed tigers or original, like, you know what I'm, like, I'm just pontificating here. If these people exist in academia, which I'm sure some do, they never get the money to go out and explore these ideas because they're so taboo now, even though with like interesting new thoughts, I thought it was the whole point of it, but
Yeah.
they're fucked.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, they're not going to give them money for that shit.
No,
And then you're stuck dealing with shit that they do find.
Well, because right
now
now
you have to examine it honestly.
They're just theories, right? We think that there's civilization or like an ancient civilization here, and we want to go and try to discover it. Well, it's just a theory.
The only way you can get around that is like you have to like be like, we're gonna go and we would like more money to further excavate Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah,
because the amount that they've uncovered is massive, and I think it's like the amount that they've covered is only like 1% of the entire thing.
Jesus,
it's huge area.
Fuck. Aren't there a shit ton of pyramids like over in like China and stuff like that?
Maybe I'd have to check.
And like those pyramids and shit, like they haven't been like investigated like at all.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But that's not to say that it's not true.
I just heard like I believe they were talking about it on a podcast or whatever. And
maybe,
yeah, the whole fucking thing's wild. I don't think we just like our life as humans started. I think it started a lot later, and
I think there's been ebbs and flows.
Yeah,
like we've been like maybe we were down hunter gatherers for 20,000 years. Then you got the right circumstances that a civilization can thrive. Up it goes, and then it gets knocked down like 500 years later, and you're back to starting all over again. You know, and that doesn't have to be from some sort of global cataclysm. That could be from like poverty, illness, disease. There's any number of factors why a civilization can build up and then get knocked back down.
Yeah,
and they can be very small. They can be huge. I mean, we just don't know. And I just think it's interesting to at least explore.
Do you think some of these monolithic sites, like the Giza pyramids, were built for protection? Because as of now, they thought the Giza pyramids were like a tomb type shit.
That's what the Egyptologists said.
But like,
it's not the case.
It's not the case. So like, do you think maybe it was a structure to protect?
No, I think they were
civilization from like,
I think it was
like a select few from a disaster.
No, I think in the book, Fingerprints, he addresses what it was. And again, because there was so much math and science in these things, I think basically those things were built as we're here. We understand math. We understand thing. What's our way to leave our legacy because the world around us is crumbling and our civilization isn't going to be around? What we can do is we can leave evidence that we understood things. So like,
got you.
Like if one's like you have perfectly right angles on the pyramid, which is relatively not interesting, but I gotta go and look at this. You know, when you look at a map, I think I was telling you this before. Sometimes you see maps and they're like in a triangle, like section. You can fold it up and it can be equal a pyramid. One face of the pyramids is like an exact ratio of planet, and the whole like all the sides add up to be the exact circumference and size of the planet. So what's a good way to say that we were around, we existed, we understood science is you leave a marker that's, when you add it up, shows that you understood how to calculate all this shit.
Yeah.
I'm doing a really, really bad job of explaining that. I think these things were left as markers to show that we existed. We knew math, science, and technology. They're
just monuments.
Here's our
type shit.
Here's our monuments. And here's where they are. And we found cradles of people that were in good areas to survive. So we passed technology to them. Like, again, if some culture was getting in the process of getting wiped out, and you send your best and brightest minds off to certain parts. The places they ended up weren't a coincidence. They were places that had large communities of hunter-gatherer people in an area that could survive untouched for a long time.
Well, didn't they?
Like the Nile Valley was extremely green and lush, and they knew that if they went there, these people aren't going to die off in 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where there's other harsher parts where it might not be a good bet to go and throw all your eggs into that basket.
Yeah. Well, didn't they find maps like back dated like 1818 or something like that, and Antarctica wasn't found? Like it wasn't mapped out, but everything else was like to a T, and where Antarctica was like kind of just like a hole in a sense. And then like 1819, Antarctica's there, so
because they discovered it.
They discovered it, but then prior to that, finding maps,
from the 1500s,
they
have maps of Antarctica.
Antarctica was mapped out like to a T of that time period.
Yeah. And the other thing about mapping is it's not just like fucking tracing what you see. You have to have you can't do good mapping until you have latitude and longitude. So there's a lot of maps that were drawn in like even the 1600s, 1500s that if you were to apply them today, they wouldn't work.
Yeah. Well,
because like
the earth shifts.
No, it's not for that. It's because before you had latitude and longitude, you couldn't exactly pinpoint an exact spot.
Okay.
So that was the reason that ships were always
I get you.
Ships were always running aground and crashing into shit and sinking because they're on the map and they're going, okay, well
we got 100 miles before we
hit land, and then you smash into the land.
Yeah.
You know, so
maybe if they opened their eyes, they would have seen it.
So there's a lot of maybe that would have been a good start. Why didn't you tell them that?
Yeah.
So if you have before you have latitude and longitude, you can look at some of these maps and go, okay, well they don't line up today, but some do.
Yeah.
And the ones that they found from the 1500s before Antarctica was ever discovered, allegedly, if you put latitude and longitude on them now, it's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
So is latitude and longitude a discovery that was made in the 1700s, or is it a rediscovery of technology that someone had beforehand? Not technology, it's a way of mapping the earth. You know, you just have to have a starting point, then you can work away, and it's not insane. It just takes a while to get there, right?
Yeah.
And then you have maps from places where it didn't exist, and then there also have maps of incredibly accurate maps of Antarctica in a position that it was in like 15,000, 20,000 years ago, where it was closer to South America.
Yeah. Yeah. That shit blows my mind.
So someone mapped it.
Yeah, somebody knew what they were doing.
They just don't know when, and they don't know who.
Yeah.
Just take that shit alone.
We may never find out.
Probably won't.
At least in our lifetime. Maybe it's buried in the Amazon.
Or maybe it's not. Like maybe it was like a place that just like literally just got flattened and that's it. You know, like you lose knowledge all the time. I don't think we're ever going to find out. But I'm not going to stop thinking about it.
So let me ask you this question. If you could go back in time, what time frame would you want to visit?
I want to see the pyramids now. I want to see how they made them.
So like back like 12,000 years ago? Because let's be honest.
Do I only have to go one spot in time?
No, because
can I roll?
I
what I would like to do
between me and you and like kind of how we see it, that we don't agree with like the time frame that the Giza pyramids were built.
What I would like to do,
I think it would
go back to when they were supposedly have built 5,000 years ago.
Yeah. And watch that little fucker etch his name into the side of the wall.
I don't even think you would that. I think you would get there and see that these weren't
still there.
They're still there. And I think you go back 2,000 years before they were built.
Yeah.
And see that they were still there. What I would like to do is like, if you could just like be in a bubble and be in a time machine, is go and park the time machine right in front of the pyramid
and
then just push rewind all the way until you start to see stones go into it.
Yeah. That's a fucking good idea. I would want to go as far back as like before the comet hit.
Well, again, they don't like Randall Carson's not saying that the comet. He's just saying there's a lot of evidence for it. He's not saying 100%, right?
Yeah, but it kind of makes sense.
It makes sense, but it's also not.
There was other evidence found that like shit like happened.
Yeah, around this time frame.
Yeah. So I think I'd like to. I don't
Well,
know. There's so much places like
if
the
listen, if
pyramids.
you have the ability of time machine, I'm pretty sure you don't have to only pick one
What if it's a
spot.
one-time use though? That's
Well,
what
then
I'm saying.
then I'm sitting on the Giza plateau and I'm pushing rewind.
Okay.
And I'm gonna wait until
What if
they
there isn't a rewind? You just like it's like
just keep picking a time. Then
you just pick a time and you have to go back. That's the only time you get to choose.
I'm gonna go back to like the year that Leo was in constellation was in front of the Sphinx.
Yeah.
Which was 10 or 12,000 years ago. And I'm gonna park probably at the tail end of that because it'll probably have been there by then.
Yeah.
Just to see it, and
Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere between 10 and 9,000 years ago.
that's your goal.
I think so. Right now.
But then, yeah,
Because again, nothing's set in stone. Like maybe it was 12,000 years ago that all
maybe
this
it was
shit
before
happened,
that.
or maybe it was fucking 30,000 years
Yeah,
ago.
whenever the processions follow, because I think they were on like 10 or 12,000 loops. So, yeah,
It is crazy.
mm-hmm.
Hey, let us know what you guys think.
Let us know you think we're psycho fucks.
Yeah, I think we are. I've gone down the dark rabbit hole.
You've gone too deep.
Yeah, my brain is melting. All right, let's give. You want to do Chris predicts?
Yes, I do.
Chris predicts. Do.
My wizard skills are fading.
Oh fuck.
Actually, that's not true.
That's okay.
Our money's getting depleted.
Crypto mining's up a little bit.
Perfect. I did exceptionally well with the Euros.
You did.
I did. I got out of because I predicted all the teams that would go into the knockout stages.
Right.
I got 14 out of 16 teams.
Jesus. Let's go.
Yeah, I did very well.
Well, you're a wizard. I'm not surprised.
So where we stand now is the round of 16 is actually ending today as we speak.
Holy shit.
There's one more game to go. There's one going on right now, which looks like it's fucking wrapped up, which is bad for us. But
oh god.
So I made all these predictions beforehand, so I'm going to catch everybody up.
Yeah, and for those watching, we are doing the podcast later than normal. This is the Tuesday before it's going to be released.
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah. Happy Canada Day, by the way.
Yeah, so I have new predictions finally. I have to catch up old predictions.
Yep.
And
isn't there a UFC card this weekend?
No. Next weekend.
Next weekend.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm just going to go back to start.
Yep.
So I predicted out of the 6 groups, let me go back and find my page because that would be the prudent thing to do. Here we go. Group A, Italy and Wales will advance. Check. Group B, Belgium and Denmark would advance. Check. Group C, Holland and Austria would advance. Check. Group D, England and Croatia would advance. Check. Group E, I said Spain and Poland. Poland did not advance.
But Spain did.
Spain did, but hang on. Group F, I said Portugal and France would advance. France and Germany were number 2. But let me go back because I said there was 4 teams that advance that don't win their groups. And I said that those 4 teams would be Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, and Russia. Spain and Sweden finished in that group. So I had Sweden to go through. Portugal and France. Portugal finished 3rd. They went through. Germany went through. So the only 2 teams that I missed were Poland. And I said that Russia would get a 3rd place entrance. And they didn't. The Czechs got it.
Got you.
So I missed 2 teams. Poland didn't make it. Neither did Russia. Czech and... yeah, that was it. Czech and Ukraine went through.
That's a lot of predictions to only get 2 wrong.
I thought that was pretty good.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. The money didn't show it that well.
No.
So where we're getting fucked...
Probably got like 2 cents.
Where we're getting fucked is... So at the beginning of the tournament for betting, I was able to like do those bets as like, these are going to be people that advance out.
Yeah.
And we got money off of that. We did well because I only missed 2 of the 4, out of the 6 groups. Where we're getting fucked now is the betting site isn't letting me pick winners to advance to like the quarterfinals and semifinals. It's just making me pick on the matches. So where they get you is you got the home team wins, the away team wins, and then there's a draw. So although you could have a team that wins the game, if they won in extra time, you actually lose.
Fuck.
So this is where we're getting fucked here. Also, some of my predictions weren't the best. It's been
now the truth comes out.
it's also been a very good tournament. There's been a few like crazy upsets. So like from a neutral perspective, which I am, because I don't really have a dog in any of these fights, other than I want to be right. Because I'm a wizard.
Yep. And
I want to restore my name to glory.
You want to leave behind a great legacy.
Yeah. Fuck. So your Euro knockout round of 16. I got 14 out of 16 right, and I made predictions and made bets. I took Holland to beat Czech Republic. I took Denmark to beat Wales. I took Croatia to beat Spain. I took France to beat Switzerland. I took Italy to beat Austria. I took Portugal to beat Belgium. I took Germany to beat England, and I took Sweden to beat the Ukraine. That's it. That's all I got. Holland got upset 2-0 by Czech Republic, which I think the odds on that, like, I don't think there wasn't many people saying that would. A lot of people thought that would be a no-brainer.
Yeah,
my idiot self included. So we won money on Denmark and Italy because they won their games before extra time.
Okay, everybody else was extra time.
Croatia went into extra time and lost, but it didn't matter anyways at that point because we'd already lost the bet.
Yeah.
France went into extra time and lost in penalties, and Portugal lost straight up to Belgium. Germany is losing 2-0 to England in the 90th minute right now, and Sweden's playing Ukraine in an hour.
How long is the game?
90 minutes.
And then, like, because of penalties?
Well, if you're tied after 90 minutes, you'll go and do 2 15-minute periods of extra time, and if you're still tied, then it's penalties.
Gotcha.
So, yesterday was, like, two of the best, like, there was only 2 games yesterday, and they were amazing games, like crazy. Yeah. Like, Spain was beating Croatia 3-1 with 10 minutes to go. Croatia tied it up to go to extra time. They lost 5-3 in extra time.
Holy shit.
France was beating Switzerland. France is like the favorite to win this tournament. 3-1 with 10 minutes to go. And Switzerland tied it up and beat them on penalties. Like, that's a massive upset.
Oh my God.
Czech Republic is a huge upset over Holland. Anyway, so
that is rough.
I have to adjust my predictions now because 2 of the games are yet to be played. So, I said that Germany would beat England was one of my predictions, my smart predictions.
Yeah.
That game's over. England are going through. So England are going to play the winner of Sweden and Ukraine, the other game that's going on today.
All right.
So my prediction is that England will beat Sweden.
Okay.
That's my prediction. I got to take this one off the board because I can't even bet it. Okay, so anyway.
So defeated.
I know, man. Because I did so well.
Yeah.
And the thing that is frustrating
to me, so bad.
Well, if I... Yeah. Just to do, yeah, you know what? I'm looking at this now and I'm like trying to find a way, like, how could we have won money? I would have been fucked either way because only 2 of the teams that I predicted actually won.
So it's just a big upset.
No.
Which is kind of good for, like,
Croatia they were the underdog for sure. Portugal and Belgium was an amazing game. And really, I thought that Portugal were going to win the tournament.
Yeah.
And lost to Belgium. But those 2 teams are amazing. And now it's going to be Belgium and Italy.
Didn't you make that prediction like when the Euro started?
Yeah, but I didn't bet it. Thank fuck.
No, I know you didn't. Could you have?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a good thing I didn't.
Yeah, good thing. Fuck.
All right, so the quarterfinals are basically set.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
And these are new predictions.
New predictions.
Coming at you. Italy is playing Belgium. And Italy is going to beat Belgium in the quarterfinal. Okay. It's going to be a good game. These games are all in the second.
Well, I would hope they'd all be good games.
I would hope so too, but you never know. So It's been a really good tournament. Italy is also going to win the tournament.
Okay.
And I did bet on that.
Okay. Okay.
Italy is going to beat Belgium on July 2nd. The other game that day is Spain and Switzerland, although I would love to see Switzerland do it.
You think Spain's going to take it?
Spain is so not impressive this tournament, and Spain has been like one of the best global teams in the last World. Like their record, they won 2 Euros and a World Cup all back to back, which is insane. No one
Yeah.
does that. Now they're with like a younger squad and they're sort of redeveloping, but they're still like, they almost didn't get out of the group. They had like
Jeez.
final day magic to get out of the group. And now they're into the quarterfinal against, they could have been playing France, but now they're playing Switzerland. So I'm sure they're quite happy about that. Spain's going to beat them. Spain's going to beat Switzerland. Denmark is playing the Czech Republic. Denmark's going to beat the Czech Republic. Right now, England is going to play the winner of Sweden and the Ukraine. I have money that Sweden's going to beat Ukraine. That's one of the bets that hasn't come through yet. And then I think England will beat Sweden. And your semifinals will be England and Denmark versus Italy and Spain. And I think Italy's going to win the tournament. But we'll update the predictions as they come. So defeated.
You did so well.
I did so well, and then I got
You were
smacked
blowing me
around.
up too the day like two of the ones that like weren't supposed to like
I wish
we weren't supposed to win.
I wish
we
there was
ended
a
up winning.
podcast before the round of 16 got started, so I could be such an arrogant fucker about how smart I was, and be like, "Look at this! I got 14 out of 16. Get ready, bet your fucking houses on this shit."
Yeah.
And then
Give us your 15
2 out
grand.
of fucking 2 out of the 8 games.
Oh shit.
If right now, if Sweden doesn't beat the Ukraine, I've only gotten 2 predictions right out of 8 for the round of 16. I like my odds better. I think I'm going to go 4 for 4
Okay.
in the quarterfinals.
Okay. You're still up on your predictions though.
Yeah, but we got
Right,
skinned.
'cause-
We got shredded on the money though.
So how many? 16 the first one. 8.
Oh, okay, all
What's
right,
that?
so-
24 predictions, and you got 18 out of 24, right?
Yeah,
That's still good.
yeah,
That's still good. It just sucks that you got so many wrong.
I know. Yeah, I got 75% of my predictions right.
Yeah, that's fucking.
It's really good.
I'll take that grade.
Fuck
any
you,
day.
it's good. I don't care what you say.
I'll take that grade any day.
I'm just really bummed out
Yeah,
because
no.
we are fucking
So am I.
broke. We got $7 in the bank.
Oh man.
And
What are we looking at for Stanley Cup?
yeah, that was the next one.
Okay.
I went over. Montreal beat the Vegas Golden Knights,
Okay.
and Tampa beat the Islanders in Game 7.
Fuck.
1-0. So it was a close game.
Jesus.
And your Stanley Cup winner is going to be the Montreal Canadiens. Also bet. And they lost last night.
Yeah, but they've got what? Was that their first game?
First game. This is so disheartening as a Leaf fan to see the Habs in the fucking Stanley Cup final. It's
As bad as this sounds, though, I'd rather lose to a Stanley Cup champ.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't want to lose.
Well, we already lost.
I don't give a fuck if it's the
We
Stanley
already
Cup champ.
lost, so like,
I'm not letting it go.
I know you're not till the
I was-
next season starts. And
We've
even then you're
spoken
not
about
gonna
this
let it go.
before, and I have a hard time separating my emotions when it comes to betting. Most of the time, I'm pretty good. I fucked up a lot with Montreal.
Yeah, because you didn't
I
want to
just
bet
didn't
on them.
want to bet them.
But you bet Boston, and Boston has beat us the last like fucking 30 years in the first round of
Yeah,
the
like there's some
playoffs.
hard losses against the Boston Bruins, but it's not Montreal.
Yeah, but
It's the oldest rivalry in hockey.
Yeah, but the losses against Boston were way worse than Montreal.
I'm not certain of that now.
What?
We were up 3-1. We have to win one of the next 3 games.
Up, what, 3-0 against Boston?
Okay, but in those series
And
we
in
came
game
back from
7,
yeah, I know.
we were up what, 5-0 or 5-1, and they tied it up and
No,
then
we
beat
were
us.
up 4-1.
Okay,
Yeah, and they beat us in overtime.
yeah. I'm sorry, that is way worse.
Yeah, but that one was in 2013. Now I'm onto the recency bias where this one hurts more.
Time heals everything.
Anyway, definitely the next Chris predictions. The good news is that the quarterfinals will be wrapped up, and I don't believe the semis will have started.
Okay.
So I can update the Euros, tell you all that I went 4 for 4, and hopefully recoup some money.
Yeah. We need
But again, the betting app is fucking us now
okay.
because
We need to start doing horse races.
that's when it's time to fucking just pack it in.
Yeah.
If I fucking
Could be
know.
fun though.
Horse racing's fun when you're there.
Okay.
If you're sitting around watching TV,
So
of
when are
course,
we going? We can't.
whenever they open, which will be never.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shit.
There's your Chris predicts. Look out for Italy, Spain, Denmark, and England all to win their quarterfinal games. And disregard the round of 16 because it didn't even really count.
It never happened.
Never happened. And we are down to $7.95 with money out. Like there's still money out.
There's still money outstanding.
Still money outstanding. And the Habs are going to win the Stanley Cup. And I hope that me saying that is jinxing them.
I don't, because I want to win the match.
You want to win. You want to win $3.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, you heard it here first. The wizard himself, who just fucking went. What was it? 0-8, 2-8.
Well, I could go 3 for 8, or I could go for 2 for 8. Still another game to be played today.
True. Still not good.
No, it's garbage.
But in the long haul, it's been good.
75% of the predictions of the Euros are right.
Good. It's been good.
If you stuck with me,
guys, take up a second mortgage out. Bet your houses.
Yeah, parlay Italy, Spain, Denmark, and England all to win.
Boom.
You're welcome. Mortgage paid off.
Entire life savings. Put it on it.
I had a fuck. Because
or just put it in Shiba Inu and you'll be fine.
The problem with how a lot of the teams I took were favorites.
Right.
So France was a favorite. Italy was a favorite. Holland and Denmark were favorites. So I actually put an extra bet on those games to parlay them to get more money back. And all that ended up doing was costing us another $1.
Oh, shit.
Fucking brutal.
No, that's betting for you.
That's it, man.
That's why you only bet where you're willing to lose.
Anyway, the Wizard has a wounded wing this week.
Oh, what?
The Wizard has a wounded wing this week.
Wounded wing.
Wounded wing.
Yo, it sounded like you just spoke gibberish.
Probably did. If you play it back, it probably sounded like gibberish. I got a wounded wing this week, but I will be back better than ever, and I'm going to go 4 for 4 in the fucking quarterfinals. And I'm going to go 2 for 2 in the semis, and I'm going to fucking win the...
You're going to win the big
Italy's
jackpot.
going to win the fucking big jackpot.
Let's go. All right, man. Catch us 2 season a pod at... Oh, fuck. I fucked that up. 2 season a pod.
Edited.
No, I'm not editing.
I know.
Fuck that. On YouTube and Facebook. And then if you've got any comments, questions, topics you want us to cover, email us at mail.twoseasonapod@gmail.com. And we will catch you guys next week. We're out. Deuces.